Oh well, that isn't good. Oh. Right, so this video is just going to be about the extra parts of gameplay that we got. The actual gameplay we did get comes in part 2, so stay tuned for that. Now let's get right into this. So the first new thing that we see is Tommy in the mission Running Man. It's good to see this cutscene got more detail, as in the game Tommy says he's going to get coffee, but we actually never see him get one in the original game.
I need a coffee break. I had a cup of coffee and relaxed in the car.
As we hear Hayden Blackman say, many veterans of Mafia 1 and Mafia 2 have worked on this remake, and it's a good thing to hear, as they've most likely been the people pushing for it to be as close as the original as possible.
Mafia's story, characters, and spirit.
And this is the first time we hear gun sounds, and if you guys have played Mafia 3, you'll know that sound. Yes, they are reusing gun sounds in this remake, so any of you hoping for gun sounds similar to something like Mafia 2, prepare to be disappointed. Here's a comparison of the two sounds, one in the trailer and the one in Mafia 3.
Mafia's story, characters, and spirit.
I wanted to pause it at this exact time of the scene because it shows off two new vehicles. I can't tell you what the background sports car is, for it's too far away. If any of you can guess, post it below. However, the new van looks to be the Bolt Model B delivery. Other than the cars though, it's great to see how faithfully recreated Oakwood is. Everything from the church to the roundabout, and they even put the stairs in the correct place. Next we have this nice shot of downtown, and here we can see things like the church, and we can also see what the trams look like now. Here we get a better shot of the Lost Heaven docks, and we can see the Bolt truck with crates inside, something which I can only assume is a variant of the truck. We also see this part behind the ship. Whether that's just the works quarter or an expanded part of the docks, I don't know, but personally I think it's probably just part of the works quarter. However, the docks are another example where we can see an asset flip, as the boxes are the same exact ones from Mafia 3. I won't say this is really a bad thing when it comes to boxes and such, but later in the video I'm going to discuss the things that return in Mafia 3 that I don't like to see back. Here we see a brilliant recreation of Chinatown, and on one of the rooftops we see a billboard of Big Bright Red cigarettes. These are one of the types of cigarettes that we sold in Mafia 2, and this could lead us to be getting a similar side mission in the Definitive Edition, which I hope is the case. Also in the scene, Hayden Blackman describes the remake as getting a new lighting engine, which of course can only be a good thing. I can't tell you the amount of times I would load up Mafia 3 and one of my rackets looked like it was being illuminated by a collapsed sun. As of the Definitive Edition of Mafia 3, this no longer happens. However, this is a screenshot of the issue that I found online. So here I wanted to highlight that the fact that the first mission, An Offer You Can't Refuse, now starts in downtown instead of Hoboken, highlighted by this coffee house sign. You can see in the background that there's a new park in downtown, which is a nice change in scenery, as most, if not all of downtown in the original game was just buildings and parking lots. So in this short clip we see the mob car that chases Tommy, Paulie and Sam in the first mission. Something I picked up on is that this is the exact same car that we see in the screenshot we got a while back. Whether this is a car that all the Morello mobsters will use, similar to how all the Dixie Mafia in Mafia 3 used the Eckhart Pioneer, or is just a coincidence, is yet to be seen. Model Ace pickup. We've already seen inside of Pepe's restaurant, but there's still a couple details outside that are important to note. I'll show them in a second. So this is Frank in the mission A Trip to the Country. He's another character that has been changed completely and has a lot more hair and a smaller nose. In fact, the only way that we can really tell it's Frank is the glasses. This is a nice view of Ralphie, and from what I've seen with the changes in the character, Ralphie better still have his stutter, as it was a defining feature of him. Vincenzo looks a lot more buff than fat now. The second thing is the sheer amount of f***ing bats he has. His nephew must really be taking baseball seriously.
Bring back the bat. It's my nephew's.
Sure thing.
The only other thing I want to note is the necklace hanging from the lamp. It's nice to see references of the Catholic religion back in the series again, as it's been something important to note in Mafia since the start, with characters like the priest, Vito's mother, and Father James being moral compasses for each character. This is a nice shot of what seems to be Central Island, just after crossing the Giuliano Bridge. Something to note, apart from the fact that it's still on the mission, An Offer You Can't Refuse, is the amount of casino signs I've seen so far. I can't assume this is anything but detail in the world, but as Hayden Blackman has already confirmed, this is a linear game, just like the original two Mafias. But it'd still be a cool feature to play some games like in Red Dead Redemption or GTA Online. This scene seems to take place on the mission Better Get Used to It, and I can only assume that the level of destruction to the telephone wires only takes place on this mission. That's the main reason why I think this is one of the main missions and not something on like a side mission. Well, I gotta say, the art gallery looks superb. It's really faithful to the original, and I could bask in its glory for hours, but I got this video to do, so I guess I can't do that. Anyway, the downside to this scene is the shotgun sound being the exact same as in Mafia 3. And I'm starting to see a pattern here. Okay. Even though we haven't got to the main gameplay yet, this is the best thing so far. I'm so glad the car encyclopedia is back, and wow, that V16 Apollyon, that is beautiful. Now it's time to get back to the scary part again. You notice the 53 out of 53 part? Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I hope to God this doesn't mean there's only a range of 53 cars in the entire game. Sure, there wasn't a lot of choice back in the 30s for cars, but surely we've got to at least have like 100 different cars, right? Okay, back to the good part. The test drive option is very promising to me because it means it gives me the sliver of hope that I need to believe that free ride will return and we won't just be stuck in the story mode. Moving on though, we got some gameplay of the bike. The other thing is that the tram says that it's going to the outer circle. It said this on the tram before, so this might just be irrelevant, but if the tram is going to where I think it is, then it's headed towards this outer circle, just outside of Chinatown. So here are the two details outside of Pepe's. One is that the street isn't just a dead end anymore, and the second is that Salieri's car is trashed. Does this mean we'll no longer go after Carlo straight after, or do we have to take another car? I don't believe we've seen this car return before. The closest car I could find to this is a variation of the Guardian Terraplane. The only other things to note is that this is on the mission a great deal, and it's nice to see that they kept the cage that has the health pickup inside of it. So the church here is a vastly different layout, with a much bigger area to take cover. I do hope they've made the shootout a bit more challenging, as in the original game you could just hide behind Billy's coffin. So melee combat looks to be interesting again. It seems to be opting for more of a Mafia 2-like style, however the animations look exactly like Lincoln's. Now it's nice to see the racetrack once again, and oh boy, that camera shake is brilliant. It really makes you feel like you're going a million miles per hour. The fact that Mafia 3 didn't have this just made every car feel the same. Every car felt slow, there was nothing to really make you feel like you were going fast. However, the Definitive Edition seems to remedy this, thank God. I'm noticing a lot in this trailer that they show a lot of Chinatown, more than anything else. It's a beautiful part of the city, no doubt, but I'm hoping to see at least one screenshot of each district before the release of the game. The airport's runway seems a lot longer and seems to be further away. I can't tell if that's the city in the distance or not, but this makes me worried about the state of the countryside. I'm really hoping we do get to see the countryside, as it was probably one of the most important parts of Mafia 1 that made it stand out from other games at the time, such as GTA 3, The Getaway, and True Crime Streets of LA. Coat physics. Yet again, another Chinatown shot. I'm confused why they want to show this district off so much, as it's only really used in about 1 or 2 missions. They even posted a screenshot on their Twitter of it. I just want to see more of the city. We never saw the unique districts such as Oak Hill and Hoboken, and the only real part of the works quarter we saw is the docks. I'm really hoping they haven't just half-assed the rest of the city, and this is just them not wanting to show off too much of their game before release. Either way, we end on this nice shot of the city, and wow, it looks beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Gotham, and this is the sort of noir feel that is needed in a game like this. I can tell that they've put a lot of effort into this, but again, I just want to see one screenshot of each district before release, just to put my mind at ease. Anyway, these were the extra scenes that I personally noticed. Have I missed anything? Let me know. But stay tuned for part 2 when I look at the 10 minutes of gameplay and break down, well, pretty much all of it. As always though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.